Welcome to the lounge, where we challenge accountability. I'm Urban, and we don't do surface talk here. We use emotional intelligence. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Every beat a question, every bar a lesson. I turn the mic to a mirror, life's a session. Urban in the mix, soul and intellect blend. We ain't just talk truth, we set trends from Dallas to the world. We break that ceiling, no clout, just facts, that's the real feeling. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Trap drums drop, but the message don't fade. Every thought sparks like a hand grenade. Faith, pain, love, and drive all collide, that's how minds revive. All collide, that's how minds revive. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Mind open wide like a city skyline. Every topic shaped by design. The urban lounge where ideas ignite. Late night thoughts under podcast lights. Every episode of thought design. The urban lounge where iron sharp iron. We build from the ground like truth rewiring. Can't fake what's felt when the mic's ignited. If you listening now, you already invited. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Real quick community guidelines before we start the show. Now I want y'all to know that this is a space for respectable, thought-provoking conversations. We encourage intelligent discussions, different viewpoints, and respectable debates. Disagree if you want, but do it with substance and respect. Self-promotion is not allowed. This is not your billboard. Links, spam, and promotions in the comments or in live chat will be blocked immediately. Distasteful trolling, insults, or bad faith behavior will not be entertained. You will be blocked and banned. No warnings, no back and forth. Finally, y'all will notice that the subscriber mode is on. It is only for 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. That way we can protect the integrity of the show and also protect the integrity of people who actually want to comment in the comment section faithfully. All right. We're here to think, challenge ideas, and grow, and not derail the conversation. If you're here in good faith, then I welcome you. Y'all enjoy the show. Salute everybody. Salute. Welcome to another episode of the Urban Lounge Podcast. I'm Urban. We are here on this Tuesday. We are here on this Cinco de Mayo Tuesday. We're here on this Taco Tuesday as well too. So salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning into the stream this evening. Oh, real quick fun fact. Do y'all know that Mexicans really don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo? Because that's technically not their independence. Mexicans, they treat Cinco de Mayo the same way how the native Indians treat Thanksgiving. All right, they believe that this is a blasphemous holiday, and they don't want to have no parts of it whatsoever. That's a little quick fun fact if y'all didn't know. So yeah, they don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo how the way the Americans celebrate Cinco de Mayo, because it's not technically their Independence Day. All right, same concept with us as Black Americans. We typically don't celebrate the 4th of July because Juneteenth was our independence, preferably in the South. All right, so, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, salute to everybody again. Those of y'all who are in the building right now, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the stream for tonight. Tonight, like I promised to y'all last week, we're going to continue talking about good old Christine Elizabeth. Now, those of y'all who was following me last week, I did a 2-part episode talking about Christine Elizabeth. Christine Elizabeth is known as the Finance Baddie. She was telling us about how she ended up getting married and divorced within 365 days. All right. So she shared with us her whole perspective behind it. And of course, I was giving you my perspective behind it too. And a lot of things that she was saying, I wasn't agreeing with it because it just didn't add up at all, period. You know what I mean? So that's that. But however, on tonight's episode, she decided to go on to another content creator channel and do an interview talking about the same exact thing. All right. This content creator, he is known as Anthony O'Neal. Many of y'all probably know about Anthony O'Neal. Y'all probably seen a lot of his Instagrams and TikToks float around. But once when I share with y'all who Anthony O'Neal is, I'm pretty sure y'all going to recognize him. But she went on to Anthony O'Neal's show and she decided to share with Anthony O'Neal about what happened in her marriage, and she revealed something that was very, very interesting, and this is why we're going to react to it tonight. She revealed that she ended up spending $46K on her divorce. Once again, she said that she spent $46K on her divorce. God damn! Which I'm kind of called bullshit on too.
That's bullshit.
But, however, we're going to react to this tonight. We're going to figure out why she say this, and I believe she's going to talk about some other stuff as well too, because like I say, I didn't watch the whole entire interview with her and Anthony O'Neal. I only just watched maybe like 5 minutes of it, all right? So I'm gonna give y'all a full-time reaction of this, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to this content. Once again, those of y'all who are tuning in right now, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this content. We're going to see what the financial baddie got to say about this one. All right. So let's get it.
All right, Christine, I'm going to get straight into it.
Okay.
I have some questions down. And the very first question I'm going to ask you is, how did your divorce shift your understanding of truth-telling, breaking generational cycles, and learning to walk away? And why is breaking a cycle so important? And specifically from breaking a cycle, the financial cycle as well.
Yeah. So my divorce taught me a lot about myself and about my own wounds and past trauma. Honestly, I was dealing with a narcissist, a covert narcissist, and this was somebody who was wearing a mask. Okay. So he was living a...
Now, I'm going to purposely pause the screen on her because I want y'all to read the definition of a covert narcissist, which I'll read it to y'all too. It says on here, a covert narcissist is a less obvious type of narcissist who seems shy, self-critical, or even insecure, but still harbors a inflated sense of self-importance, entitlement, and lacks empathy, often using passive-aggressive tactics, playing the victim and manipulating others through guilt or pity to control situations and feel superior. Now, those of y'all who tuned in to the stream last week, and I revealed to y'all that these traits that Christina is talking about, it seemed like it is centered more towards her than her ex-husband, to be honest with you. Because if you look at these traits that she's talking about right now, to be honest with you, through her actions and everything that she's doing, she indeed acts like a covert narcissist herself. Because let's look at it. First of all, she make it less obvious that she is. She do act like she's shy. She do be self-critical. She also even act insecure as well too. How do we know this? When we was doing a reaction to her last week, what was one of the main things that she was doing more than anything? She was doing self-improvement. She was always working out. She was always exercising. She always had to look a certain type of way. Even just going out to somewhere simple as the store, she had to look a certain type of way all day, every day. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking a person who wants to do good for themselves, like for self-improvement purposes. Not knocking them, but in her situation, it's almost as though she's looking for approval. Okay? So, we revealed last week that she was doing all these things, that she's being shy, she's being self-critical of herself, or even acting insecure. She harbors and inflates a sense of self-importance and entitlement. As you can see right now, this is why she's going on these world tours, talking about covert narcissists, and keep constantly talking about her ex as though this was a survival story, as though she was surviving a Bruce. You know what I mean? So she has a self-importance. She has entitlement issues. She lacks empathy. Then she also used passive-aggressive tactics, as we seen last week, and I'm pretty sure she's going to do it on this show too, all right? She also plays the victim and manipulated others through gift or pity to control the situation, feel superior, which I believe this is what she's going to do with Anthony O'Neill on this episode. But let's continue.
Double life behind my back.
Okay.
So when I found out all of that, I had to really ask myself, how did I end up with this person? And when I looked back, it started with my own relationship with my father. And my father is a pastor, old school Caribbean guy, and emotional unavailability is something that he sees as strength. So growing up, we never had a real relationship. We never had a real connection. And he would still go to church and pretend to be this family man, pretend to be this great husband, this great father. And when it came to me getting married, I knew that I wanted somebody who was the opposite of that. So the man I married was super communicative. He showed love very openly. Nobody saw a red flag. My family.
Now, just to give you a recap as well too. On part 10 through 13 of the videos that we shared last week with her, right, she ended up revealing that her father and mother was also narcissists, okay? So everybody in her circle is a narcissist. Her ex-husband's a narcissist. Her father's a narcissist. Her mom was a narcissist as well too. But the only difference between her mom is that she was trying to make it as though her mom was the victim of narcissism. All right? And I also revealed to y'all that I found it interesting that she's pointing the blame on men in her life to be these covert narcissists. All right? And also, while she's pointing the blame of these men being covert narcissists to her, right, never at once she have taken accountability for her said actions as well too, which that's what narcissists do, by the way. But let's continue, y'all. Once again, shout out to everybody who's in the building with Jen. What's up, man? Salute.
My friends, nobody raised any concerns about him because he was everything that my father wasn't. Yeah. And the reality is that there are a lot of people wearing masks, and sometimes you overcorrect for what you didn't get in your childhood. And unknowingly, you end up with somebody who is just like my father was emotionally avoidant. The man I married, he was avoiding himself. He was avoiding his own
Shout
truth.
out to Inglewood.
And so even though he performed emotional availability, he wasn't really emotionally available. He was avoiding.
Now, here's another definition that they put up here on the screen that's to go along with her argument, all right? So she's using the term emotional avoidance, okay? So on the screen, it said emotionally avoidant individual tends to suppress feelings, avoid intimacy, and value independence, often stems from attachment styles or past experience where vulnerability led to negative outcomes like rejection or neglect. Now, once again, when we reacted to this last week, ladies and gentlemen, and she was explaining the situations with her father, right? Check this out. Everything that she's explaining about her father does not have anything to do with being an emotional avoidant. A matter of fact, if her father was resembling this particular behavior archetype, right, he would not be in ministry at all, period. He would not be in ministry. He would not be in ministry. He would not have multiple churches and do the things that he is doing right now in ministry, like she said in her previous videos, okay? Now, once again, I believe that all these things that she's mentioning, I honestly believe that she's literally telling on herself, okay? I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, no problem, brother. Yeah, I try to throw out them shorts for y'all, man, but appreciate you watching them.
Emotional availability, he wasn't really emotionally available. He was avoiding himself. And so I had to take a step back and realize what I needed to heal within myself. And a lot of therapists will tell you, you marry your unhealed trauma. You think that you're correcting for what you didn't get as a child, but you're missing the depth and you're missing the connection because you're so focused on being with somebody who's going to be better for you than what you had in your childhood. And when it comes to walking away and breaking cycles, well, first of all, when you're dealing with a narcissist, you have to verbalize what happens. You have to speak to others about it because narcissism, it really thrives in silence. And that's one of the reasons why I did take my situation to social media, because I wanted to be transparent. I'm a content creator and I shared my wedding. I shared my prep for the wedding. So many young women follow me, and it was only right that I was transparent about what transpired in the marriage. And calling out narcissism for what it is and helping others to see it for what it is, because the reality is, again, this man, he wore a mask that was so good. Nobody raised a red flag. Everybody was convinced that this man loved me so much. This man is the best man for me. Nobody raised a red flag. And so just being able to identify narcissism and helping others to see it in their own relationships, that's huge. And when you speak truth, you actually free yourself from that cycle of silence.
Here's my pushback on this, all right? So she's saying that she is using the weapon of social media to expose narcissism, all right, in relationships. To be honest with you, I believe that this is a disingenuous statement. The reason why is because she's not using it to empower people at all, period, like we revealed last week. She's doing it to empower not only herself, but also she can grift and get a financial gain. Notice what she also mentioned. She mentioned that her core audience is who? Women. Not only women, but younger women as well too. Also, last week I revealed to you all her programs that she have available, and all these programs is tailored towards younger women. Okay, so even let's kind of entertain this for a moment. All right, let's say hypothetically that this is her true intentions, that she wants to bring awareness to narcissism. All right, let us entertain that. All right. What do you think would be one of the main process that she'll need to do to fulfill these requirements or reveal a narcissism? Or what do you think? Don't worry, I'm telling y'all. One of the main requirements that she'll need to do to reveal this narcissism, right, is for her to do what? Is to first study about the behavior itself. Not just quote something that she got off either Wikipedia or ChatGPT, but she's literally become a student of narcissism. If this thing is very critical and serious to her, knowing that she become a student to it, she end up mastering this thing called narcissist, and how she could do that. She could educate herself. She could get a certain type of license and credentials as well too, where she could enter into the public speaking space. She could use these things where she could go to not only social media, she could go to local schools and talk about this, preferably colleges, because her target audience is younger women, preferably in college and growing up, right? So she could do all these different revenues to expose narcissism. But guess what? She's not doing that at all, period. Because I've been monitoring her socials. She's not doing that. All she's doing is posting her post-divorce videos, and all she's doing is posting thirst trap photos. And all she's doing is posting more about narcissism in general. And that's it. And to be quite honest with you, she's not even educating like how the way she's claiming to be doing. But let's continue, y'all.
Because I came to realize that I'm actually from a narcissistic family. My own father, the way he treats others in the family, his avoidance, that was mirrored back to me in the man that I married, avoiding himself. And financially, here's the thing. Whatever you tolerate in your relationships, that is going to translate in your money. Absolutely. And so a lot of women reached out to me after I posted my divorce series, and they were talking about the fact that they're dealing with an abusive situation with a narcissist or an avoidant or whatever it might be, and they can't leave because they don't have their own money. And they're trying to reach out to me to figure out how to make more money, how to get money, so that they can pivot out of that situation.
Wow.
And this is why I do what I do when it comes to workshops and classes for women, because you have to be financially independent so that you can leave any situation that's no longer serving you.
If you've been sitting on the side.
All right, so he doing a real quick commercial break. While he's doing that, shout out to everybody who's in the bidder right now. Appreciate you tuning in to this episode of the Urban Lounge podcast. We are reacting to the Financial Baddie. Her name is Christine Elizabeth. What she's doing now, she's on what's the dude name? O'Neal, what was his dude now? I forgot his name. Oh, Anthony O'Neal. She's on Anthony O'Neal show, and she's doing a world tour talking about her narcissistic relationship with her ex-husband. All right. Now, those of y'all who, if you didn't watch my reaction to her last week, go back and watch the reaction video. It's a 2-part series that I did talking about her. All right. So in this final episode, she decided to go onto Anthony O'Neal platform and talk about her narcissism. All right. Talk about her narcissistic husband and her narcissistic father as well, too. Allegedly, by the way. All right. So appreciate you on tuning in. If this is your first time here at the lounge, catching the live stream show, welcome. You're in for a treat. I'm more than those shorts. All right. So welcome. Appreciate you. So let's go ahead and get back to the show. All right. I think they're ready.
You are online known as the Finance Baddie, and your TikTok went extremely viral when you started talking about the narcissist and your divorce. To provide education, because I think a lot of ladies use the term narcissist, can you describe the difference between, you did this in one of your videos, a narcissist and narcissist traits?
Yeah, so so here's the thing. You have narcissistic traits and you have narcissistic personality disorder.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Most people, in order to be successful, we do have some narcissistic traits.
Yeah.
But someone with narcissistic personality disorder, and I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a therapist or anything like that, they are going to pretend to be somebody that they're not.
Now, notice what she said. She said that she's not a therapist nor a psychologist. Okay. But however, she felt that it's appropriate for her to diagnose her ex-husband as being an MPD. And also she decided that it's appropriate to diagnose her father as an MPD as well too. So this what made me question this. All right. Since she's not a therapist, since she's not a psychologist, basically what she's doing is she's diagnosing based on assumption. None of these gentlemen have came out and went to any type of medical doctor whatsoever and they diagnosed them with MPD. This is something that she is saying. This is also, she made the point to mention about narcissistic personality traits. Now, when she's talking about narcissistic personality trait, it is true that all of us have a form of narcissistic personality traits, okay? Every last one of us. And narcissistic personality trait isn't necessarily a bad thing, okay? But she's trying to make the MPD a bad thing based on her anecdotal experience in relationships, all right? And so therefore she decided to do her own assessment, her own diagnosis on her ex-husband and now on her father as well too. I'm kind of curious. I wonder if she were to ever run into this video right now, I'm reacting to right now, I wonder if she will consider me as being MPD, because I'm noticing that the only time when she called people MPD is the ones who are disagreeing with her. The ones who are pushing against her narrative. So I'm kind of curious behind that, you know. but let's read the definition real quick. She said that narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have a unreasonably high sense of their own importance. They need to seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others. Now, I said repeatedly that I believe that she have MPD as well too. A matter of fact, I believe that she is the person who's narcissistic due to what she's doing. Everything that this definition is describing right now, this is what she is doing, ladies and gentlemen. She's the one who's going to all these socials trying to expose her ex-husband and her father. She's doing that. She could have simply just left this alone, but this is what she wanted to do. She's going on her socials to get women to admire her, to make it seem like she's this strong person who survived something. But just like I revealed last week, she did not survive a damn thing, period. Her relationship wasn't toxic because she said it wasn't toxic. It wasn't abusive because she said it wasn't abusive. The one thing that she said that was happening in her relationship was the narcissism, and that's it. That's it. But let's continue, y'all.
And the person I was dealing with, that was a covert narcissist. So he is convinced that he's a good person. The mask that he wears to the world is this family man, this excellent husband, just the best man, hardworking, whatever. But in secret, they're living a double life. And a lot of what they do is they gaslight you. They're going to love bomb you. So anytime you raise any concerns, they're going to pretend like they made a change, that they were doing better. They're going to bring you all these flowers, but they're not actually going to change. So there's a lot to it, because I also found out that he tried to sabotage my career on Wall Street.
Wow.
I found out that he tried to sabotage my content creation career, all while pretending to be my best friend and all while pretending to be like the person who was there for me. So the person I'm sleeping next to is trying to destroy me in secret.
Wow.
Now, in part one that I did last week, I had exposed that. I exposed to y'all that she was lying about that because her story wasn't consistent at all. She had started off by saying that she believed that her husband was trying to sabotage her career. But at the same time, she said that she had sent it up to HR and HR had did an investigation. When HR had did the investigation, she had said out of her own mouth that it was somebody else that was attempting to do that and not her husband. But guess what she did? She decided to double down on that and blame it on her husband.
You were married?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, that actually started before we got married when he tried to destroy my career on Wall Street. I didn't find that out until earlier this year.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And he would pray with me. It's so crazy. He would pray with me when he was the one trying to end my career.
Oh, also, in part 1 that we did last week, right? We also revealed this. We revealed that she had put this dude in the friend zone. What do I mean by that? At one point in time, they were dating. She decided to end the relationship, right? But however, instead of her ending the relationship, she kept this dude in the friend zone. She was still consulting with him for financial advice and status as well too, meaning that she was using him for his money. He was giving her money. He was giving her all these gifts, even though that they was no longer dating. Whenever she fell down or bad or whatever, guess what? She was texting or calling him as well too. She was literally leading this dude on to make him believe that they was eventually was going to get together. And so eventually what happened is that she finally decided to give in and get engaged and marry this dude. But once again, she said that this dude was narcissistic. Just like I exposed last week. I find it very interesting that women always say this all the time, that they have intuition, that their intuition is strong. But however, when it's dealing with situations and relationships, right, it seems like that intuition just goes completely out the door. Or maybe it's because they just go on with their feelings. They let their feelings overcome their intuition, if you want to see it that way. But I don't know. It all just seemed like one lie to me, to be honest with you. One who's gaslighting to me.
Yeah.
This is.
And they just can't face themselves. That's the biggest thing with narcissists. They can't face themselves, even when you present the evidence to them, right? I had evidence of what he was doing behind my back, and he's in complete denial.
What's up with him?
Yeah.
They can't face themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
So here in a few days,
Yeah.
one thing I love about your brand is you are helping ladies in fashion and in finance by telling your story and living your life.
Exactly.
And on December 30th of 2025, you're going to be having a finance workshop. Give us a little bit information about that, of why that's so important.
Of course. So on December 30th at 7 p.m., I'm having a virtual finance workshop. It's actually a finance vision board party. It's called Rich Girl Reset.
Okay.
And it's really to help women step into 2026 really confident. A lot of what I do in all of my workshops is I give them sound financial principles.
Okay.
So I worked on Wall Street for 5 years, and I learned a lot about personal finance.
Oh, by the way, that workshop that she already did, right? She was charging them over $100-something just for them to sit in the Zoom section with her. All right.
And during that time, so helping them understand, of course, budgeting, investing, all of that. But at the same time, women, we are different from men, and our approach to money is different. So I do try to encourage women to lean into their creativity and always lean into the areas of life where they can monetize outside of their 9-to-5s or whatever it is. So this Rich Girl Reset is going to be really a wealth activation is what it's going to be, and really helping them to make more money in 2026. It's not just about budgeting and keeping yourself small. It's learning to make more money, how to invest and actually grow your money.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah.
So I met you, what was it, 3 years ago?
Yeah. 2023?
2023.
Yeah.
Right when you was with your ex-husband, y'all were dating it.
We were dating. Yeah.
And I just saw the happiness. I saw your glow about it.
Aw.
And I have a question here I want to ask you, because I think it's important to kind of relate to I think a lot of people watching this are going to be blessed, because a lot of them have gone through a divorce and they're still trying to recover. What did coping look like for you earlier in life, before you had the emotional tools you have today? How did you handle heartbreak or the disappointment?
Yeah. So when I was younger and I can remember when I was like 20, 21 years old, I experienced what I now know is heartbreak. But at the time, I felt so much pain that I just knew I didn't want to feel it anymore. And that was actually the start of my Wall Street career, because I poured myself into work and getting an internship and just focusing on my career, because I was telling myself, you know what? My career can't disappoint me. My career can't hurt me. So that's where I shifted my energy and my focus. And also, when you're so young, you don't even know yourself. So when you go through betrayal, when you go through anything in a relationship dynamic that's not positive, you tend to internalize what happens to you. Right. And so I was so young. I didn't know myself. I thought it was me, truly. And I just didn't want to feel the pain. So I focused on work. But the reality is, when you do that, you are avoiding the root of the issue, and you're avoiding actually feeling the pain. And if you actually allow yourself to feel the pain and feel the betrayal, that's when you can actually get to the root of the issue. You're like, oh, okay, this is why I ended up dating this type of person. And you get to the root of the issue. This time around, going through my divorce earlier this year, I was 29 and just had a better sense of self. And I think just having more confidence and just knowing my worth and knowing my value. When I found out what was happening behind my back, I was like, oh, okay, this is not.
Now, this particular part of what she's talking about, I have to agree with her on this, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, over here at the lounge, I talk heavily about vetting. But I also talk heavily about self-work as well too, meaning that I believe that it's very important for you to do your self-work first, even before you start going into your career path and, getting your finances in order. It is very critical for you to deal with yourself. What she described is what she experienced, but a lot of us either are experiencing right now or we have experienced that, okay? Now, she's labeling it as heartbreak. I'm going to label it as being immature, okay? Now, the things that she said that when she experienced her alleged first heartbreak, she ended up burying herself within her career. Typically, that's what people do. Not just women, but men and women. They typically do things like that. When they experience something traumatic in their life, they decide to cover it up instead of dealing with it. That's not healthy at all, ladies and gentlemen. You'll need to deal with that eternal thing that is bothering you, because what's going to happen? It's going to eventually circle back around to where you may end up in a potential relationship. And guess what's also going to happen? You're going to want to do what she did. You're going to have a certain appetite or a certain type, right? And typically, you'll want to end up finding that certain type. You knowing good well that type is toxic and different things like that. And you're going to go for that thinking that that's the way to go. But it's not. When I went through my divorce, right, I had to go through that same self-work where I started reevaluating myself, all right? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't reevaluate myself immediately, but it took time for me to get there. Yes, I experienced red pill rage. Yes, I was in a point where my ex-wife hated the hell out of her with a passion. Yes, I was pointing the finger and blaming her for wanting to get the divorce and getting divorced. And I was putting the blame on her because she filed for child support, putting the blame on her that the court system, I'm in the state of Texas, by the way, the court system favored her over me, where she ended up becoming custodial over our children, while I'm the non-custodial, but however, we held joint conservatorship over our children. So, yes, all these things was happening, and it challenged me. And yes, I pointed the finger on her. I was mad at her. I was very upset. I was pissed off. Then once when the smoke cleared for me personally, ladies and gentlemen, that's when I started sitting back and thinking, I started wondering, how in the hell did I get myself into the situation we get in the first place? You want to know what conclusion I came up with? It was me. I chose this. I decided to pursue this. Even when I seen the signs that it wasn't good. But guess what was happening in my mind? In my mind, I was believing that since I am this good and wonderful guy, that I could change this woman. I can make her be, or I could want to mold her, or want to condition her, or groom her into be the person that I want her to be. Not understanding that she was doing the same as that thing with me. So when I found that truth out, guess what happened? I entered right back into the red pill rage all over again. But only this time, it wasn't towards her. It was towards myself and God. So I started hating myself. I started hating God. I started hating myself because I'm the one who made these choices and decisions. Then I started hating God at that time because I was pissed off because God should have warned me better. That was my mindset back then. God should have warned me better. He should have gave me more signs than what he was giving me. He should have stopped the whole thing. And when the situation happened, he should have intervened on my behalf. That was my whole mindset. But eventually, once when that smoke cleared again, brothers and sisters, I came to a realization that I needed to do self-work within myself. I needed to heal myself. The first part of healing, and I'm hoping that this help y'all if y'all are experiencing this or if you're in this situation, all right? The first step in healing yourself is for you to forgive yourself. You hold yourself accountable for the choices and decisions that you make, and you have to forgive yourself too. And then on top of that, you don't forget because you got to carry your cross. But because that cross is going to be a reminder. It's going to be a reminder to you for you to never go through that process again. Because if you don't carry that cross, guess what? You're going to want to relapse. You're going to go right back into that situation again. And I believe that's what a lot of people are lacking. They're lacking carrying that cross. That carrying that cross is your accountability. You carry that all the way until you can't move no more, all the way till you die. Because it's always going to be a constant reminder of what has happened and what could be if you decide to regress and go back into that situation again. So that's what happened to me. I started redefining myself. I started finding a new purpose, a new identity for myself. And forgave myself and moved on. Brothers and sisters, I believe a lot of us out there, we haven't even did that type of work at our period. And I know she haven't did it. Even right now to this day, I believe she haven't did it. That's why she's doing what she's doing. But we haven't did that real work that we need to do to help ourselves. Once again, shout out to everyone in the building. I hope what I'm sharing with you that it will help y'all for real on the cool though. Now, the whole purpose of the Urban Lounge podcast is that we share red pill philosophy over here, but we're going to share it in a different way. We're not going to share it so we could sit up here and hate women or hate feminism and different things like that. But we sharing it over here to bring you awareness of what's happening so you can make a choice and make a decision for your life so you can be a better version of your life. Not going around hating each other or, as they say, this alleged gender war and all this other bullshit that's happening, but so you can better yourself, so you can be better equipped, better prepared. And if it is your desire to enter back into the dating market, that is solely your choice. It is not a requirement for you to do that. But shout out everybody who's tuning in. If you're enjoying this conversation tonight that I'm giving to you, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. It will let YouTube know that you want more of this content. All right. So let's continue. Let's hear more of her point of view, her perspective, all right?
Not a reflection of me. It's disappointing. It's shocking because his mask was so good, but it's not a reflection of me because only a wounded person, only an unhealed man would do that to you. So more than anything, I felt pity. I really did. I felt pity for him. And I still do wish him healing and I wish him peace. But this time around, it was, okay, I see what it is. I'm able to step back. This is not about me. And I was able.
Actually, it is about you. This why I was telling y'all earlier that she haven't made it to the point of holding herself accountable because she's constantly seeing that she's the victim in the story instead of understanding that she's really the villain in the story. She's really the antagonist of the story for real.
Able to really get to the root of the issue. Yeah.
And what's bad about it too is that the gentleman like Anthony O'Neill, right? What's bad is that Anthony O'Neill is one of these gentlemen who's part of the Christian faith, all right? This man has been heavily indoctrinated into this modern day Christian faith, this modern day Christian belief system. In this modern day Christian belief system, it has a more of a monogamous feel to it, I guess. It has more of a feminist type feel. It has more of a liberal type feel to it. It don't have a patriarchal feel like how the way it was originally designed to be. This is the reason why when you look at the modern day Christian faith, right, you see more women who are actively involved in these churches than men. Then if you do see men in these churches, you'll have blue pill men like my boy right here, Anthony, who are blue pill, who behave the way that they behave, where no matter what the woman says, she is white, right? And she's the queen, she's Mother Earth, and all these different weird things that they say about women. He's not going to fully challenge her ideology. He's not going to fully challenge her mindset to figure out the why behind it. He just going to simply just bow down and agree to it. These same type of men, they're not leaders. They're more so followers, and they could be also betas as well too. That's the reason why I'm not part of the Christian faith at all, period. Especially this modern day Christian faith. My belief system is solely contingent on my personal relationship with the Most High God. It is not tied into, religious worldviews and belief systems and all these other things that are out there right now. In fact, I don't even go to church or nothing like that because I keep my connection close to the Most High God. Because the things that are happening in these churches, you get these dudes. Because these churches be teaching these dudes to be submissive and a beta and all these different other things. Instead of challenging. Instead of leading.
So I've gone viral and gotten negative feedback from what I'm about to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten some positive feedback. And
Okay.
I've noticed the negative feedback comes mainly from, I would say, the Christian community and or people who are just not educated with this. Someone as young as you are, I won't put your age out there.
I'm 30. It's fine.
We'll tell other folks. I respect that. 30 years old, you've been through a divorce earlier
Yes.
in life. No kids.
Mm-hmm.
But you are financially successful. You was on Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong from doing my research more, because I met you at the Called at Corey Roberts thing years ago, and you was killing it back then. Still are killing it now. I don't want to knock out what you're doing now, but you were financially in a good place.
Yes.
To where you didn't need a man for finance.
Yes, never.
And he said, never. That's strong. Her strength was like, never. Great. But following your journey when you were married, you shifted, right? And so you gave up some of the finance a little bit and shifted into being a stay-at-home wife to a content creation. Today, you're single. You said it cost you $41,000 for your divorce,
What?
right?
46, yeah.
46. You said
Yeah.
get the it's fucked up. $46,000 for your divorce, and you are getting back to where you were pre-marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Getting married again. You're 30. You want to get married again? Is he signing a prenup?
Absolutely.
So hold on real quick, y'all. We got to address this one. And I know this is part of the thumbnail, and I was waiting for this part too. She said that she ended up losing $46,000 in this divorce. And I'm trying to figure out how in the hell did she lose $46,000 in the divorce when she was a full-time wife and a full-time content creator. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How's that even possible? Now, she did share last week what she was talking about, that she's part of Wall Street and all the good old stuff there, meaning that she was a financial advisor. Now, I had looked up the number of being a financial advisor in Wall Street. The average financial advisor in Wall Street makes about $57,000 a year. That's it. They're not making six figures or anything like that. But however, last week, she was trying to make it where she was insinuating like she was a six-figure earner. But she wasn't. So the average person on Wall Street as a financial advisor, they make $57,000 a year. And that's the median range. Now, she do have like certain licenses and stuff, right? Even with the certain licenses that she have, she's still going to cap off no more between like $57,000 or $60,000 a year. So what I'm trying to figure out is this. Why did the divorce cost her $46,000 and not her husband? Because keep in mind, she said that she gave up that career in Wall Street and decided to go into full-time content creation as well too. Now, I know that she has a YouTube channel, which that's what we reacted to some of her YouTube stuff last week. I know that she have a TikTok. Majority of her content is on TikTok, and majority of her content is on Instagram. So even hypothetically combining that, right, that do not equate to her losing $46,000 in a divorce settlement. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do this for y'all. I'm gonna do this for y'all real quick. I'm gonna do this. I'm pull up her social blade real quick. Let's do this. We're gonna pull up her social blade. Because I'm just like I say, I'm kind of curious behind. I'm honestly curious to want to see how much is she making. That's on YouTube alone. I want to see how much she's making on YouTube alone. On the cool though. And what's her name? Financial Baddie. All right, here she is right here. Now, here's a social blade on YouTube, all right? Now, as you can see, this is her estimated monthly earnings. On the low end, she's only making about close to $491, probably like $500 on the low end. And on the high end, she possibly could make over $7,000, but trust me, she's not making that on the high end at all, period. You want to know how I know? It's because when you look at this on column right here, all right, where it deals with the estimated earnings on Social Blade, she's not even hitting that at all, period. She's not hitting that. So just on her YouTube channel alone, to me, it doesn't add up to her making a lot of money as being a content creator full time. Now we could want to throw hypothetically her programs that she had, right? Because she said she has several different programs that she do for the women, and I already told you that a couple of her programs she charged over $100-something to do. But however, them type of program is a one and done thing. It is not a consistent type of thing that is happening for her. So one moment she could want to get somebody who's foolish enough to pay her $300 for a consultation. Then the next month, nobody's going to do it. So it's inconsistent. Then to top it off with IG is inconsistent as well too. So I'm trying to figure out where is she getting this? Where's she getting this? She ended up losing $46,000. And those of y'all who tuned in to last week, right? She told us that her husband was also part of Wall Street as well too, meaning that he was making money. So I don't know. I'm just confused behind it. I don't buy that at all. I don't buy that she was the one who forked out $46,000 unless she was foolish enough to pay for an attorney, and that attorney charged $46,000 as a fee. Then, if that happened, then that's her foolish self for hiring that attorney. So, like I said, I don't know. I don't get that. It doesn't. That doesn't add up to me at all. Period. I don't know. That does not add up to me. Period. I don't understand that one. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments on that. But let's continue, y'all.
Absolutely.
What's your stance on that now? Coming on this side of the world now, why would you, as a Christian woman, right? You're very strong in your belief, your Christian walk. Why a prenup now?
So I didn't sign a prenup for my first marriage.
Was it an option, or y'all did not even talk about it?
We talked about it briefly, but I think, here's the thing. I believe in love. I'm a lover girl. That's just how I am. And I think you get so happy and you just think that this is going to be a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, I believe this man's heart for me more than anything else. Like, it wasn't about his looks. It wasn't about his money. He also worked on Wall Street.
Okay.
I believed his heart for me. And I was like, well, why do we need a prenup? Well, we both were like, we don't need a prenup. Like, we love each other.
Christian too?
He is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, notice what she said. She had gave the typical answer that women would give when that prenup thing would come into play. They would say, why do we need a prenup? If we love each other, then we should trust each other. But also, this goes with my argument about the $46K and also about her being a content creator. Now, let's say that she was making this money, making a lot of money. She was making six figures. I guarantee if she was making six figures or more, I guarantee that prenup would have came to play early on. It'll be no questions. She's going to do a prenup. He going to do one. She's going to do one. No questions asked. I guarantee that, because now she know that she's bringing a lot to the table to this marriage, and she don't want to split that. But however, the only time when women pushes back against a prenup is the women who are bringing a little bit or nothing to the table. Because they know that if you don't get a prenup, they know that when it's dealing with community property, right? Depending on certain situations, right? That community property could be split with them as an exit, as a backup plan, as a contingency package, or as a severance package for them exiting out of the divorce. That's why typically women do not want to get prenups who not bringing nothing to the table, because they know they're going to get something out of it at the end. This is also the reason why these said type of women will push to have children, because they know that part of the severance package is that they, depending on what state you at, they know that they could get custodialship over these children and also get child support as well too. And depending on what state you at, you can also receive alimony as well too, or spousal support. So that's why they will not do these prenups. In her case, if she had the money, She had over 6 figures. Guaranteed she'll be wanting to do a prenup. Guarantee that. But she didn't have it. Hence, that goes to why I'm saying that I believe that she's lying about this $46K. I believe that she's being disingenuous behind it, unless she was that foolish or stupid enough to hire a high-end attorney, a high-end lawyer or attorney, right? And the high-end lawyer or attorney end up charging $46,000. That is dumb as hell. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let's continue.
Exactly. Another thing about narcissists, they're going to go to church. They're going to go to church.
Brothers, we got some work to do, brothers.
But yeah, I believe his heart for me, and we talked about it, but we didn't really, we're like, we don't need it. It is what it is.
Okay.
And thankfully, we were able to walk away from the marriage in a good position, both of us.
Okay.
But absolutely, I would do it again, and I would absolutely.
What is a good position? What does that look like? What was she talking about, a good position? How does that look? And why would she say something like that? Why would she say they walked out in a good position? Especially since she's going around and saying that her husband is this such narcissistic, controlling person.
Absolutely get an infidelity clause. That is because I always say on my channel, if he breaks the vows, he breaks bread. Mm-hmm. He should. Mm-hmm. I would also get a reputational protection clause, especially if you're a public figure. Okay. That's something that people can start saying whatever, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. Okay. They'll start making up stories about you. That's important.
So pause for educational purpose. Let's go back to infidelity clause.
Yeah.
What
salute
does that
everybody.
mean
Melon, what's up with it, bro?
Never heard of that.
Yeah. So
infidelity clause.
Pretty much, if he breaks the vows, he breaks bread. Period. So if he's gonna cheat on you, you can set it up however you want, but you should get compensated. I think you should.
So she's talking about the infidelity clause or the cheating clause. Now it says this: a cheating clause or infidelity clause is a provision in a prenup or postnup agreement that outlines financial penalties or assets division changes if one spouse commits adultery during the marriage, aiming to protect the non-cheated spouse financially, though it is enforceably varies by state and requires precise definition of infidelity and proof. Question: if you were to either get a prenup or a postnup, right, would you consider getting an infidelity clause? Would you consider doing that? Now, the reason why I'm asking y'all this is because, like I stated earlier, with women in particular, they believe that a prenuptial agreement is a sign of distrust, meaning that this man cannot trust her with the finances that he is bringing to the table into the relationship. That is their mindset. So with that being said, could the same thing also be true with a infidelity clause, meaning that you cannot trust this person in this relationship? It's almost as though you saying that this person is going to cheat. If they're going to cheat, then we're going to put this provision here to try to prevent them from cheating. That if it were to happen, then they got to pay up. What do y'all think about that? Do you also believe that love conquers all things? That you don't need to have a prenup? Matter of fact, let me kind of want to pick our brains a little bit, all right? Since we talk about prenuptial agreements in this particular segment, right? Those of y'all who are tuned in right now, all right? What is your stance on prenuptial agreements? If you are in a relationship right now, do you believe that you need a prenuptial agreement? Do you believe that? Now, here's my stance on prenuptial agreements, all right? I believe this. I believe that if you're in the salary range that goes up to about I say up to about 90,000 a year, right? If you're within that salary range that's 90,000 a year, I honestly believe that you don't need no prenuptial agreement for that. I honestly don't. I believe that it is a waste of time. But however, when you're crossing into the salary range of 6 figures and going higher than that, then yeah, I believe that you do need a prenuptial agreement for that. Because the reason why I'm going to kind of pick your brain on this, because I have been into manosphere spaces and also been into red pill spaces where two were gentlemen are saying that men need prenuptial agreements, period. No matter where they social status is at, they need prenuptial agreements. But I don't agree with that. If you're a middle income, white collar worker, why in the hell you need a prenuptial agreement for? Because you're not even making enough money for it anyway. I don't understand that. Now, for us, like adding like certain type of clauses and stuff, right? Like, like this infidelity clause, cheating clause, or whatever stuff, right? You could do that prior before getting married. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to do a necessary prenup for that. You could add that in. As a matter of fact, you could have a living will. You could add a living will and everything, if that's what you want to do. If you feel that strong and adamant about protecting your community property, this is what you also could do. Besides doing a prenup, you could create what is known as a trust fund, and within that trust fund, you can make the beneficiary of the trust fund to be the beneficiary or your certain type of community property that you have. So when this situation comes with the divorce or whatever stuff, right? You have a trust fund. It's already the beneficiary. They already have the trust fund. And so since the beneficiary have it, it's not going to go into the community property. It's not even a part of the marriage. So there are different other ways that you can deal with that besides doing a prenup. But for us getting the prenup itself, I believe that if you're not earning that much money, then to be honest with you, gentlemen, it's not even worth it. I know it sounds good, but in reality, it's really not worth it. All you're doing is wasting money. There's something, gentlemen and stuff, right? Here's another thing I want y'all to consider too. When we talk about community property, many of us right now, we don't own land. We don't own property or anything like that. Where we're paying on mortgage and stuff, right? We're paying on our cars, right? So if we're doing all of this and we don't even own anything, well, what's the whole purpose of a prenup? When you don't even own the community property that you have anyway. That's why, like, case in point, in my divorce, right? Part of our community property was our house, okay? Guess what we had to do with our house? Since we was collecting what was known as equity in our house, right? Guess what we had to do? We had to sell the house and split the equity towards each other. Or another option is this. We didn't have to sell the house, but however, we could split the equity and I could keep her in the house and make her be solely responsible through it. And so the second situation is what I did. And the only reason why I did this is because I was thinking about our children. I did not want our children to be going over to their mother's house and their mother is homeless or didn't have a place to stay. So in that situation, I felt that it was more logical to do the second thing, which is go through the equity, right? We could want to do the community property within the equity, and I will relinquish my part of the deed of the property and make her be solely responsible for that property, that home. Take me off on the mortgage and everything. Where it won't affect my credit or anything like that, and make her be responsible for that. But just took the equity. And that's what I did. That way the kids, when they visit their mom, they have a place to stay and, different things like that. But let's continue, y'all. If y'all are enjoying this content tonight, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel, man. All right? So we are reacting to Christine Elizabeth. She's known as the Financial Baddie. We reacted to her last week. I did a 2-part video, so that if you haven't seen it, go back to my channel and watch both of them parts. All right. We're reacting to her. She is on Anthony O'Neill's show, and she is giving her account on what happened to her marriage, which she's saying that she divorced a narcissistic husband, allegedly. And now she's talking about that she lost $46,000 in the divorce settlement, which I believe that is some absolute bullshit.
That's bullshit.
But let's continue.
Should. Yeah. Or at least you're not going to get any alimony, depending on the situation that you have. If you cheat on somebody, if you step out on your marriage, you broke the contract, certain things are no longer going to be happening.
Yeah. My attorney.
This is a good question. She said she worked on Wall Street. Don't you think she makes 6 figures? No. When I had researched her numbers, right, she does not make 6 figures. And she don't. She is known as a financial advisor, Series 7. All right. When she was working at Wall Street, she was a financial advisor, Series 7. And the highest salary a Series 7 financial advisor can make is close to about $60,000 a year. And that's how far that could go. That's the max. But however, she has stated, not only last week, but also on Anthony's show right now, that she had gave up her Wall Street career to be a stay-home wife and a content creator. But let's continue.
Told me. So we already have one up.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna get married at one point in time a few years ago to a young lady, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
It didn't work out because of me.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I own that part.
Yeah.
Not because I ain't cheating, not like that crazy, y'all. I wasn't moving with intentions at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if she was my client and she came to me saying I'm about to marry Anthony O'Neill, and Anthony O'Neill did not have an infidelity clause in there saying that if he cheats, you get X amount of dollars for every single year you were married. Mm-hmm. I would tell her she is absolutely crazy to get married. And I was like, what? He said, so the infidelity clause makes you as the man think 3 times, is this worth messing up this? Right. And if it's something that you feel as if you need to walk away from, you will start that process at least in a healthier way.
Oh, let me show you this since you think I'm lying about it. I got the stats pulled up right here. So here it is right here. Here's the stacks right here. Just so you think I'm lying, here it is right here. As of May 4th, 2026, the average annual pay for a licensed Series 7 and Series 63 in the United States is $57,583 a year, and they could want to top off to be about $60,000. All right, so that's how much she's making as a licensed Series 7 financial advisor at Wall Street. That's how much she's making. Well, that's how much she made. Okay. But it's right there. Let's continue.
May not be the right way. And I'm like, yo, I don't get married, especially at this age. I'm not getting married with divorce in mind.
Right.
But neither did you.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And it's
Oh, also, you might be thinking in lines of day trading and, doing any type of tradings. Now, if you're doing any type of tradings and you got a license for all that stuff, then that's different, okay? And yes, you can make up to 6 figures and more doing that. But she wasn't doing any type of trading. She was just only a financial advisor. That's what she said her career was, a Series 7 financial advisor in Wall Street.
like,
And I knew better. That's the thing. Like, I worked on Wall Street. I knew better. But I think a lot of the times as women, and
But she keep throwing this Wall Street thing up here to make people believe that she's just this high value woman. But like always,
That's bullshit.
all she doing is capping. She just trying to make herself be more than what she is. A matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, I had did a reaction almost like 2 weeks ago on Kevin Samuels, all right? I had did the reaction of his famous Average as Best video. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Now, on that Average as Best video with Kevin Samuels and that woman, right, what was she doing? She was doing the same as that thing like Christina's doing, making herself seem like she's more high value than what she really is. But in reality, she really wasn't. Just like with Christina. That's why she keep throwing it out there that she work on Wall Street. I work on Wall Street. I work on Wall Street. So make it seem like that she's high value, but she's not. She ain't high value.
this is why I do what I do on my channel. We lead with our hearts a lot.
Yeah.
We are just so loving. It's not about what, for some of us at least, it's not about what somebody can do for me because I already have my own. I can do my own.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think that that would happen to me. I just did not see it coming at all. That's the thing. And so you have to prepare yourself. You have to be realistic because at the end of the day, we're human beings. Yeah. People change and people wear masks. And that's why I shared my story, because so many people were just shocked. They're like, oh no, but he's such a good guy. Like, this is a great guy. He went to Ivy League universities. He worked on Wall Street. He's like this clean image. Yeah. How could it be that he would have done that to you? Yeah. It happens.
It happens. I mean, it takes two. It takes two. So you'll have the infidelity clause, you'll have the reputation clause, and that simply means you cannot say anything or do anything that can harm my brand.
Exactly.
Now, the reason why she got the reputation clause, it didn't have nothing to do with her ex. This reputation clause is solely for her content creation. Once again, this reputation clause is solely for her content creation. Now, I believe this is what was happening. I believe during the time where she was sitting up here vlogging her whole entire life, right? It was people like myself and other people who was disagreeing with what she was saying, where they was literally catching her in her lies. And so she had to figure out some type of way to protect herself. So she did this by having what is known as a reputational clause. Now, on the screen, it says a reputational clause is this. In a prenuptial agreement, often a social media clause protects a spouse's image and business while preventing the other from posting damaging information such as photos, secret, derogatory remarks, online, with penalties for violations aiming to enforce mutual respect and privacy, even during a potential breakup. Question. If this were true, if she were to get this stuff right, why it didn't happen while she was in her relationship? Now, all the stuff that she's talking about this is what she would do as of right now. If she were to enter into a relationship now, she'll have all of these different provisions. Now, question to y'all. Do y'all believe that all these things that she's asking for, that it's reasonable? She's asking for a prenup. She's asking for a reputational clause. She's asking for a cheating clause as well, too. Do you believe that all these things are reasonable? It's something that if you were to get in a relationship with her, would you agree to all this? Or do you think that is full of bullshit?
That's bullshit.
Y'all let me know.
Exactly. Also a financial infidelity clause, which is important. So whatever you're doing with your finances, like, because people hide finances very well.
For sure.
Yeah, they hide whatever they're doing with their money very well. So that's something I would definitely get.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you will. That's more so ladies hiding money than it is men, though. Would you say?
Both.
Equally?
Yeah, both. You'd be surprised.
I have never heard of a man hiding money. I've heard of ladies hiding money because they're fearful what happens if if it was to separate, will they have any money? I've never heard of men hiding
they do
money.
Yeah, me neither. I never heard of men hiding money. Because normally, I put y'all this way. Once when a man is in a committed relationship and or marriage, right, that man would do his best to be transparent as possible. Especially if he's saying that he loves you, right? When he say he loves you, that means that he not only loves you, he honors you, and he trusts you as well, too. So he will let you know his finances and how the way it's moving and operating for the most part. Now, I'm not going to say that every man behave this way. There are a few exceptions to the rule where there are a few men who have trust issues. There are a few men who have this type of trust issues where they're not going to be fully transparent about their finances. They may hold like a little bit of detail away from their woman for a rainy day. But however, it is different for women. They're automatically like this. Enter into the relationship, they're hiding their finances. They don't let that dude know that they got a secret savings account. And then when they be married, they don't let that dude know that they got a secret savings account. Deep into the marriage, they're not gonna let you know that if you have a joint savings account, that they're taking at least $1,000 out of that joint savings account for a rainy day. They're not gonna let you know that.
They do it.
we brothers, we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, that's a
we
good
need
question.
To have a conversation because I cringe when I hear the word narcissist, but I know as a man, I have to admit there are men out there who are narcissists.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Anthony. I think the word is thrown out a lot. It's the truth. But again, narcissistic traits versus narcissistic personality disorder.
What happens to your family if something...
All right, so Anthony is doing this commercial break again. So once again, shout out to everybody who's in the building right now. We are reacting to Christina Elizabeth. She is known as the Finance Baddie. If you want to check her out, she's on all socials. She's on YouTube, Instagram, and all that good old stuff. You want to check out her content, all right, for your vermin pleasure, okay? So she is on Anthony O'Neill's show right now, and she's explaining to us how she lost $46,000 in the divorce settlement. She's also explaining to us briefly about what happened in her divorce as well too. All right, so we're reacting to that. We're reacting to everything that she's talking about right now. I did a reaction to her whole divorce story, and I revealed to y'all that a lot of stuff that she was saying that she was lying to me personally. And I honestly believe that she's actually the narcissist in this situation, to be honest with y'all. That's based on her behavior and the things that she's doing and her actions that she's taking as well too. And I also believe that she have not held herself accountable. I believe that she haven't even went to therapy or anything like that. Neither, to be honest with you. But is he done? Damn, he's still talking. So those of y'all who are tuning in right now, we got about 15 likes right now. Do me a favor. If you haven't want to thumbs up the video right now, do that for me right now so we could get the likes up. If you're enjoying this content, go ahead and thumbs up the stream. Now, as y'all notice, I do have that ticker up there at the top. I don't encourage people to be a sponsor or to donate to the channel because I want that to be something that's optional for you. So I don't push that on you at all. If that's something you want to do, by all means, you could do it. But however, thumbs up the video. That is way more important to me. Thumbs up the video is way more important to me than getting sponsorships, okay? Or getting super chats, all right? So if you could do that, by all means, I appreciate that more than anything. With that being said, let's go ahead and get back to this content.
Is one of the reasons why I love talking about finances the way I love talking about it is because I'm for the Black family. And I believe that finances are important. But one thing I have learned, which I'm trying to figure out how to put this content, which is why I'm so happy that you're here and we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
But I understand that if men first, because I always start with the man, then I go to the woman. If men first, if we're not healed, if we're not getting therapy,
Yes.
and if we're not surrounded by other men who can hold us accountable,
Huge.
right? Then we're not going to, it doesn't matter how much money we have.
Yeah.
Because the more money we actually have, then the more of the unhealthy side of us will be exposed.
Exactly.
And I had to learn that from my pastor, who's one of my closest friends. Man, he's called me out on so much of my issues and BS.
Yeah.
My mentors who are older, been married 40 years, 40 years, are like that. And you said something, and I want to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about accountability.
Yes.
Because
Huge.
you said something like, I don't know if you said it on the show or beforehand, but you was like saying something how like it starts at home.
It does.
And I think I'm just different, right? Because I think me and you were talking about it. You said sometimes for men, it starts with the mother.
Absolutely.
Mother is always going to affirm their sons or their children specifically, but for sure sons.
Absolutely.
I am backwards. My mama, and I have two. So I have a biological parents and then they married other, right? So my biological mother and my other mother, them jokers did not affirm me. I mean, every time I would call them, like I've called them 2 times in relationships, and I just knew my mama was going to have my back. Mama said, one of them said, "What the hell are you doing?"
I want to point this out too. Earlier, the things that I said about Anthony O'Neill, right? This is the reason why I had said it in the way I did. What I have noticed is this. I noticed that whenever younger men are being brought up by single mothers, for wherever case it is, I noticed that these single men end up becoming blue pill beta males who are affirmed to this blue pill beta Christian faith. Because notice what he was saying. He said that he had all these mentors that was by him, right? He said also that his pastor was formerly a mentor and a brother as well to him too. Now, I'm pretty uncertain that his mentor and his pastor probably had the same type of upbringing, but once again, I'm assuming, okay? Probably had the same type of upbringing as well too, where maybe being in a single parent household and eventually end up becoming pastors of these churches, but they sit up here teaching this blue pill ideology, this blue pill liberal woke ideology, where they are holding themselves accountable, but they're not holding themselves accountable in a masculine way. They're holding themselves accountable in a soft way so they can adjust into the current structure of this type of feminist liberal ideology. It's like this, gentlemen. Now I'm talking about gentlemen. It's like this. It is like the roles. It's like the roles are being reversed. Instead of the women who are designed to be here as helpmeets towards men, right? The roles are reversed now. It's as though the men are now participating in being helpmeets towards the women. That's how it seems like. Seems like they're now being the helpmeet towards the women. And what's sad about these gentlemen is that they're being indoctrinated. But they get indoctrinated early on when they're young, when they be in these said single parent households with single women. So they be indoctrinated early on. And then when they grow up, these same women, they probably had them be a part of a church. They probably been at this church all their life. And be indoctrinated to be this certain type of way. And so here it is now. This dude is a grown ass man, and he's talking about accountability. But notice that he's not going to challenge her on accountability, because deep down inside, I honestly believe that women believe that they shouldn't be held accountable for anything. That's why it's hard for them to accept accountability, because they'll never be challenged about accountability. But notice he never challenged her. He never said, I'm going to challenge you on accountability. What he did, he started out for himself first, and then asked her some soft-ass questions. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. All right. But let's continue. Philosophical, I'll see you in the middle. What's up with it? But let's continue.
Like, no, son, that is unacceptable. And she said the name, won't say the name of my ex-fiance. And she said, baby, let me call you back. But I'm going to talk to Anthony first. And my mom really held me accountable.
That's huge.
And notice that he haven't said anything about his father whatsoever, or any type of other men that supported his life besides the pastor and these alleged mentors.
And I never, like, the last person I want to talk to about relationships are my mothers. Because
and that's bad. That is so bad. If the last person he wants to talk to about relationship is his mom or his mother's, right, that's a red flag.
I know they're going to hold me accountable more than anyone else. But then it's like, now God has really put me in a place to where everyone around me is going to hold me accountable. I have friends I talk to a lot who live here. I won't say their names, but they just got engaged. And every time we talk, they always say, okay, Anthony, what did you do?
Right.
Like, what can you learn? Do you believe, from a man's perspective, we could do better at holding ourselves accountable?
Absolutely.
No. Notice what he did right there. Once again, instead of him challenging her to hold not only herself, but women accountable, he took the question and asked her, what do you believe that men should do to hold themselves accountable? Literally asked a woman for advice for men to hold themselves accountable. No, that is an absolute bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Of course she is going to give her emotional response. Let's listen to it.
Think accountability, that's the difference between a wounded little boy and a man.
Okay.
That's real.
That's real.
Start off by emasculating men, like usual. Let's continue.
But I think the reality is...
This is good.
And no, it's not. It's not good, bro.
I think the reality is a lot of men see accountability as man bashing.
Okay.
Right?
I can sense that.
Because as soon as you hold them accountable, they see it as an attack. But the reality is the most loving thing somebody can do for you is hold you accountable.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts.
And they need to understand that. And you're able to acknowledge that, Anthony, because...
And it ain't easy.
Exactly. And it took time to get there.
And it still to this day doesn't feel good.
Right.
Now, my young brothers in the chat, whenever your fellow brother is holding you accountable for any type of choices or decisions that you have made, right, do you believe that it's an attack on you, on your masculinity, when they do it? And I'm not talking about another woman who's doing it. I'm talking about another man that you confide in, that you call a brother as well too. Whenever they hold you accountable for your bullshit actions, right, do you see it as an attack on your masculinity? Yes or no? Because me personally, in my personal anecdotal experience, whenever another man that's part of my circle hold me accountable, I don't see it attacking my masculinity. In fact, I see it as empowerment, because they care about my well-being. They want to see the best out of me at all times. But however, depending on the type of woman, right, whenever they do it, then yes, they are indirectly emasculating men, because they want the men to be the way that they want to be emotionally. That's typically how the way it happens. So that's why when a woman says certain stuff like that, that's why a man will automatically think like that. Yeah, she's trying to emasculate me. Especially how the way you put it together. Like what she did a few seconds ago. Yeah, being a little boy. Like, all right, bet.
Accountability doesn't feel good.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to nobody.
Yeah.
But I know that it will, one, it helps my business. It'll help my future relationship. And I honestly wish that I had accountability
Yeah.
with the love of my life. I wouldn't lie. Right? Because they were like, yo, you that dude. Like, you got this, you got that, you got this. Man, you can get something better. And one of them was a pastor.
Wow.
Who did not hold me accountable. He actually told me to leave her, and that's why I left her.
Wow.
And so...
Well, could we say in this situation that he was holding him accountable? That it possibly could have been some things that he seen in the woman that he was dating, right? And he knew that she wasn't the right fit for him. But however, once again, when you be blue pilled like this, right? And be blue pilled and you be simping and you be a sucker, right? You'll fall for any old type of category of woman. So you're thinking that this is your very best. So could it be possible that this person seemed better for you? Could it be possible that he sees some things in this woman that he knew that this was not going to be a good fit for you? Especially if you are leaning towards being a high value man. To me, that's the same equivalent of holding each other accountable. And he did it too. But however, the women that's part of his circle and all stuff, they say it different.
Accountability is hard for men.
It is.
And I'm trying to be wise with my words because I don't.
And no, accountability is not hard for men. Don't believe that bullshit lie. It's not hard for us. I'm telling you, when we are around people that we know that care about our best interests, we can hold ourselves accountable. We sure can. We could take correction and everything, long as we see it as feasible for it to happen. Now, the only exception to this rule, if you're dealing with these weak ass, blue pill, beta male, soft, hyper emotional men. Now, them type of archetype of men cannot handle accountability because they've been brought up with the same feminine type of energy. And so when you challenge them, right, they will act hyper emotional like a female.
Want men to think that we are bashing them because
we're not. Because here's the thing. Somebody who truly loves you, Anthony, 3 things. They're going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
They're going to encourage you to heal.
Yes.
And they're going to require honesty from you.
I agree with that. And that is something in 2026. We're doing a men's group to where every month men will get together. It will be solely around finances because I use finance to draw us in.
Yeah.
Right. So we talk about that. But within those groups, we had one, and inside of that group, Ed will tell you, my video guy, and no woman was allowed.
Yeah.
There's only one woman. She was there with her husband, and she's a good friend of mine. And 50% of the conversation was about men and money, but then the other 50% was about, yo, we got to hold each other accountable.
We do.
Because our families are not going to be better if we don't have, what's the proper way to say it? If we don't have control over our flesh.
Right.
If we can't date one woman and be faithful in that relationship, if we can't be married, even within my organization, if you work with me, they sign a clause saying that they'll be faithful. And if they're not faithful, they got to resign. They'll get a letter of recommendation from me because I know it doesn't impact their work, but I want to be around men and women who are faithful.
I love that.
And so we do that. But then within those circles, I want to answer this question because I'm going to be fair on both sides.
Yeah.
Men, we have those conversations about accountability.
Yeah.
And we're prideful men. So it's a hard conversation.
Right.
But inside of that conversation, they're like, man, accountability for me, okay, I get. But what about my wife? What about the ladies? Like, accountability for them seems like it's even harder because their ladies tend to support their thinking rather than hold them accountable. What are some things ladies should be accountable for?
Now, before she answers this question, what would y'all think? Do y'all believe that she's going to be honest and genuine with her response? Or is she going to gaslight this whole entire thing to make it center towards where women don't need to hold themselves accountable because they are the prize and they are right and the man is wrong? What do y'all think? That's her.
So I love that you asked that question. I think women largely have to be accountable for enabling low vibrational behavior and enabling dysfunction. Largely as women, men and women, we tend to confuse love with...
Notice what she's doing. She's not sticking to the context of the question where it's focusing strictly on women. She's using the language saying men and women when we're not talking about men and women, we're talking about women in general. She's using this soft language talking about that they need to control certain things. Like, what things are you talking about that they need to control or need to work on? How did that look?
Attachment. So we tend to get with the man, and because we value being a wife or value being his girl or fiance, whatever it is, we see the bad behavior, we see little signs, but we stay around because we're like, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah.
But
Got you. So now she's using the victim argument. Instead of holding a woman accountable for having a certain archetype of man that they go for, right, as predators, she's going to hold the victim argument, saying that, hey, you know, I'm in a relationship. I could change him. That bullshit argument. Let's continue.
again, that's not love.
Right.
That's not love. If you're not holding him accountable, if you're not helping him become the best version of himself. Yeah. And sometimes that means walking away. Yeah.
Once again, a victim mentality, and she reverted to saying that she need to hold him accountable, not her, the woman or women, but she need to hold him accountable because it is his fault that she had decided to be in a relationship with him, not her fault.
And that's why I did talk about my divorce, because I think the highest form of love, right, again, is accountability. Yeah. And sometimes it's walking away, wow, right? Because if you truly love yourself, you're not going to tolerate disrespect. Yeah. You're not going to tolerate cheating. You're not going to tolerate betrayal. But a lot of us as women, we don't love ourselves. So we let people walk all over us. We let the men get away with all kinds of behavior.
Now notice that she's still talking about what men are doing to women. And the whole entire question is dealing with women holding themselves accountable for their choices, decisions, and behavior.
We don't say anything, and we need to be accountable for that. And again, mothers, a lot of mothers, it was different for you, but a lot of mothers, they don't hold their sons accountable. If you ask anybody, if they have like a sister or brother, the sister had a different upbringing than the brother. The brother could do anything. Yeah. And so it starts in childhood. If you as a mother always enabled your son, when he becomes 20 years old, when he's out there in the world, where's the accountability?
Yeah.
Now she's saying that she wants to hold these single mothers accountable, but not in the way that it's going to challenge them to want to change their behavior, because they always revert back to what the man is doing, which is go back to this shame and guilt and want to be right. Correct? No accountability whatsoever. What she's challenging the sisterhood to deal with their said behavior and change. But however, when it's dealing with the men, we went into extensive detail, not only with Anthony, but with myself as well too, how the ways we hold each other accountable as men, and we welcome that, unless you're a soft dude. We do.
Yep. And the thing is,
I'm doing good, Selena.
You're going to have a man like that attaching himself to women who always enable him and always prop up his ego.
He's looking for his mom.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. And his mom is destroying him at the end of the day.
Yes.
Because anybody who truly loves you wants to see you grow.
Yeah.
They're not.
And also, I don't believe in that argument either. I think that is a disingenuous argument where they say that the man is ultimately looking for his mom. Now, there are a certain type of archetype of man that would do that, but that is not the majority who does that. These type of men are not looking for their mother. They're just looking for a woman to either have sex with, to procreate with them, or to be in a committed relationship with them on the long term. They're not even thinking about that. To be honest with you, that is some nasty, predatory bullshit to even remotely think that a man is visualizing his mom while he's up and smashing a woman. That is some crazy bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That's why I mention it that way, because it just sounds stupid as hell.
Not going to encourage the low vibrational behavior. They're not going to encourage you doing things that are beneath you.
Facts.
That's just not love.
Facts. No, it's not. And I see that a lot with ladies. And
oh, you welcome, Mike. It's facts though.
Because you're,
hey, Mike, it's fact, man. It is fact. I don't know why they think like this. That is crazy as hell. I'm put you out this way as well too. There's another thing that's going on right now, right? Where it's talking about the age gap. Okay, there are feminist women, right, or pink pill women. They're talking about the age gap. They're saying that men who date younger women are considered as predators. Okay, that's their argument. If you're dating a younger woman who's 5 years or even younger than you, you're a predator. You're literally grooming them. And so I want y'all to think about this critically, right? And we're going back to this argument, what they talking about the mom thing. So you mean to tell me that this grown-ass man is literally thinking about his mom? His mom is older. So it will make logical sense in this argument that every man would go after what? An older woman instead of a younger woman, correct? But every man isn't like that. Every man have a certain type of woman that they desire. Some men like older women, some men like younger women. But I guarantee that they're not thinking about their goddamn mom sitting up here trying to smash their mom. That's crazy. And I only hear women saying that crazy stuff. If that be the case, if we're gonna want to go with that logic, that means that that the women are looking to smash their fathers. If we're going with that logic, because it just sounds stupid and ridiculous.
You're not a mother, but let's say a healthy man is dating a healthy woman, right, who's raising a son, but her love is enabling, and he sees that. How should he bring up the conversation, or should he not even bring that up? Because, that could be a sensitive conversation with her. Yeah. Because he could be trying to hold her accountable that can help his son in the long run. Because I have male friends who were sheltered, confirmed their entire life by their mothers, and get to a woman and their relationship is not working, not solely because of them, it's just because they were trained that way. If my mom did all this, then my woman should do this too. Yeah. So how should a man have that conversation if he sees it, or do you think he should not and just leave that?
He should absolutely.
Now, before she continue, right? Now, what Anthony is doing now, he's conflicting two totally different things. He's conflicting gender roles with relationship. Okay. So of course, if you're being in the upbringing where you see your mom doing all these different things for his gender roles, where she's cooking and cleaning and she's doing all these different things, of course you're going to want a woman to do the same as that thing. And you want to know why? It's because she's supposed to be a grown, competent woman who's supposed to be doing that anyway. So in that particular statement that he made, he's being disingenuous behind it. Now, it is nothing wrong with a man seeking a woman due to gender roles. Likewise, there's nothing wrong with a woman seeking a man with gender roles as well, too. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I have said this over and over again on my show that I believe that the traditional gender roles need to be redefined for this modern day culture. And the reason why I say that is because the things that they did in the past doesn't necessarily go with the present modern day times of relationships. Why do I say that? The reason why is because back in the day, women weren't working. The reason why they weren't working because by law, they couldn't work until the feminist movement happened and gave them the right to vote, gave them the right to work. That ever since that transition had happened, guess what? In this modern day time, both men and women are working now. They're working class citizens. So it would be better if both parties would assimilate the roles together to where if he knows how to, if he got to take the trash out, she take the trash out. Like, why? Do it. Because guess what? I guarantee if she's a single woman, I guarantee she's going to take that damn trash out. I guarantee if she's a single woman, she's going to learn how to fix her car, or she's going to have somebody fix it for her. But if she can't afford to fix it, I guarantee she's going to figure it out. Because we in this modern day time. So that's why I say it needs to be assimilated into this modern day time. It need to be redefined. It is modern day time. Now, I don't want y'all to misunderstand what I'm saying either. Let's say that if you are in a relationship and y'all decide to participate in that gender role traditional dynamic, it is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If that is the dynamics of your relationship and y'all trust each other to do that, and that's what y'all want to do, then by all means do it. If she want to cook and clean up the house, by all means do it. That's y'all relationships. That's y'all relationship. Nothing wrong with it. But let's continue.
Have that conversation.
Shoot.
He should have that conversation. We have to hold each other accountable, Anthony, because again, it's not just for men, it's for women. Accountability is the highest form of love. I'm telling you, it's the highest form of love. If somebody doesn't hold you accountable, if they just affirm what you're doing, right? Especially when it comes to a child.
Yes.
You have to hold it accountable.
Yeah.
You can't just affirm your child.
Yeah.
He has to learn from, your child is learning from you. You have a duty to make sure that they're raised the right way. So we have to hold each other accountable, and we need to stop taking accountability so personal. And if accountability triggers you, that tells me that you have some work to do. You have some healing to do. Yeah.
That's true.
Now, I believe that you should hold accountability personally. I do. So what she's saying is some bullshit right there. Yeah, you should hold accountability personally because it is a personal self-work that you need to do within yourself. Now, I would say this. You shouldn't be hyper emotional about the accountability part. Get all up in your feelings about it. You shouldn't be that way. But yeah, take it personally because it is meant to be personal. But once again, through this statement that she's talking about right now, notice that once again, she have not held herself accountable, nor she have not held her sisterhood accountable as well, neither. Because they believe that women shouldn't be held accountable. They believe that women are the exception to the rule. Now, I'm saying that all women think this way. No, but I'm steering towards most women believe this.
That's
yeah.
true.
I want my people to hold me accountable because I know that's what makes me better. I want my friends to hold me accountable.
Yes.
I want my family to hold me accountable. That's what makes me better.
No, facts.
Yeah.
Facts. No, I agree with that, man. I have good friends. I can say their name, Ronnie and Courtney. He's on my show every month. And every time we go out to eat,
Yeah.
Ronnie has this thing and she's like, all right, what is one thing you're working on? Right. And then we tell each other what is one thing you need to work on. Like, it's not just a good feeling. It's like, hey, hey, yo, we see you doing this. You got to stop.
Yeah.
You know, you need to pivot this. You need to do this. All right, Ronnie, we see you doing this. All right, Courtney, we see you doing this. We do that at least once a month.
I love that.
And I love that because it challenges me and it makes me.
She says she loved that, but in reality, she don't love that at all, period. She don't.
Better to hear the negative. But then also what I love is after the negative, yo, here's where you're killing it.
Right.
Keep doing that. And honestly, teach us how you doing that.
Yeah.
So there's this accountability and then there's this love and we're helping each other grow. And here's what I love about it. And this is why I just love them too, is we see the growth. And I love that. So as we end this show, two things. Number one, December 30th. Hey, put me on this calendar. I mean, on this, not this calendar, on this camera right here. December 30th, she has an amazing workshop.
Rich Girl Reset.
Rich Girl Reset. And I firmly do believe, I've been following her journey for like 3 years. She's killing the game. I want to encourage you to check it out, right? So we're going to put the link inside of the show description, whether you're watching this on YouTube and or on podcast.
Here's another thing too that I don't like what he did right there. He did this whole final segment part where he closed it out by saying that he have this small circle of friends, right? And it consists of men and women. And within a small circle of friends, they have a moment of time where they go, through each other and they name certain things that they need to work on or they need to hold themselves accountable for. They call each other out. They call each other out on their bullshit and everything, right? Which everything he's saying is good. That's what you're supposed to do. But the reason why I don't like what he did is because it's almost as though he's pandering Christina. Because if that were me, and I were to mention that, right, I would have immediately segued into saying, hey, this is what me and my friends are doing to hold ourselves accountable. What are you doing to hold yourself accountable for the choices and decisions that you are making in your life? Have you did some self-evaluation work on yourself? What about your own divorce? How you feel about your divorce? What self-work are you doing with your divorce? Because we know that divorce is hard. It can be difficult. It can be mentally draining. So what are you doing for that self-work to help improve yourself in that aspect? That's what he should have did. He should have, especially since he's saying he known her for 3 years, right? He should have challenged her on her accountability. What are you doing, Christina? What are you doing that's different? Reflect back on this whole entire situation. Explain to me what things that you need to work on, not the dude calling this dude narcissist, whatever. What are you doing to work on yourself? What things that you feel like that you did wrong that you can improve in the relationship? I'm pretty sure she probably said way back to start talking about that she wasn't wrong, and she gonna start saying way talking about, hey, what I'll do is that I'll make sure I don't date a narcissist. Some crazy stuff like that. But once again, this is dealing with this blue pill ideology of these men where they be so damn soft with these women.
And I want y'all to go check it out because she's going to really teach you finances from a woman perspective. And I can't do that. I can teach you how to get out of debt and build wealth, but I can't teach you that from a woman's perspective. And so, brothers, I think this is a good Christmas gift to give on top of what you're giving. Don't just give this because then, I don't want to create no issues at the house. But
now this dude's telling other men to simp over this woman. Go ahead, brothers. Go ahead and pay this $300-something course for another woman so they could sit on a Zoom call for an hour and listen to her about some stuff that they can easily either Google or ask ChatGPT to put together for themselves for free.
I think, brothers, we could do better at sowing into our significant other's financial future.
Y'all think I'm playing about that one? I challenge y'all to either go on ChatGPT or Gemini or even one of them AI programs and ask for them to put together a financial plan for you. And I guarantee you'll put together a comprehensive financial plan for you for free. You don't have to go to no financial guru or nothing like that. It'll put together for free. Long as you are being genuine and you put the information that need to be in there, it will put a whole plan together for you for real. Like real talk.
Into their business, sewing into say, hey, you know what, go do this for you. I bought the ticket, whatever the price was, but spend a couple hours with the Finance Baddie and become a Finance Baddie yourself.
Period.
With that being said, I'm curious, with your experience as a woman who's in the beauty world, who was in Wall Street, who was married, now divorced, and in this season of whatever the season is for you, what is 2 financial things you've learned that you think all ladies should know?
Yeah.
And this another disingenuous question that he asked. Instead of asking about accountability things, he gonna ask her about some financial bullshit. What financial things did you learn about this? These are soft ass questions that he's asking her. Oh, by the way, those of y'all who was here last week, right? I had revealed to you that how the way she did her self-healing was by her going to Jamaica and having a divorce party. You can want to check it out. It's on my channel right now. She literally had a divorce party.
First of all, so many women reached out to me on the back of my divorce series, telling me that they were in similar situations. They were in abusive relationships with narcissists, and they just didn't have the money to leave. So some of them have kids, some don't. And it broke my heart because they essentially prompted me to create another financial workshop. And I do them every now and then to help them to get their finances in order so that they can pivot. It's important for you to be financially independent. It doesn't matter if you are married to the richest man in the world. You need to have your own money because, again, people are human. Circumstances change. You always want to be able to earn your own income. And I think that empowers you as a woman as well. It really does. Apart from that, get a prenup.
You want to know what's even more horrible about this, ladies and gentlemen? What's horrible about this is that, yes, there indeed are women out there who are literally dealing with NPD men for real. Narcissistic personality disorder men for real. That is a real thing. What makes it even more horrible is that she's sitting up here using her fake story. Because overall, to me, that's why I believe it is. That's a fake ass story that she made into a reality. She's using this whole fake ass story to grift on these people who are truly hurting for real, who are truly looking for a way out, who are truly looking for a fresh start. So instead of empowering them the correct way, she wants them to pay $300 something to sit on a Zoom call with her for an hour. Instead of doing it for free and sharing resources, like, say, for example, if these women are in these type of battered situations, right, sharing resources like 211, 411, you could want to be a part of tell them, reference them to the Department of Health and Human Services, where they offer free shelter for these type of women who are dealing with these abusive situations, especially if they got children. Instead of sharing information to them about that. Throughout every city across America, they have what is known as safe zones. Them safe zones is not only for children. Them safe zones is also for people who are dealing with abuse. You could go to any safe zone. You don't even have to have no money. You could go to any safe zone and declare that you are in an abusive relationship and you're trying to escape. And they would immediately give you resources so you could do that. And you don't even have to do it for $300 like what she's doing. And that's why I'm saying it is crazy that she literally sent up her grifting off of women who are literally in these situations for real. That is crazy work. And sit up here smiling, laughing, and everything. That's crazy. That is insane. When I worked in social work, I had provided so many resources to these type of women who was dealing with these type of dudes. Hell, some of these old screwed up dudes showed up to my office with the woman. And then I had women that showed up to the office. They had a bruise on their face and everything. And gave them that resource to help them out. Versus this fool here. Crazy. Yeah, I do agree with you, brother. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with you because I just seen it too. I just seen it too that men get abused as well too. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, that is true because I done seen it. But here's the only difference between twins brothers is this. And we need to work on this for real. And what I'm about to say, this is why it's so critical for us to be mentors towards each other. It is critical for us to have this iron sharpens iron with each other. Because even in that situation dealing with abuse, guess what? Men abuse goes unreported. The reason why it goes unreported is because of what? Is because of pride and because of shame. And also the final part of this is because a lot of people do not believe that it happened to men as well too. And that's why I say we need to work on that. Just a matter of fact, just like these women, they be having their movements and stuff, right? Feminist movement, they be going around marching around the city. Hell, men need to start stepping up and having marches about abuse. Pulling up at City Hall, having marches and protests about that to let that be known that men deal with this as much as women do. And they need to start being reported. When these situations happen, men need to start getting a police report so it can be documented and reported. That's the only way we're going to be able to be heard. But if you don't do them things, and plus us as brothers too, we got to be there for our brothers. So if our fellow brothers are saying that they being abused by their woman, don't be sitting up here laughing at them. Nigga, you soft. All she want to do is have sex with you. That's a fetish. Bullshit. That is not no fetish. The dude is literally in an abusive relationship. When one of our brothers say that they deal with this situation, we shouldn't laugh, we shouldn't joke about it or anything like that. We shouldn't give bullshit advice. But what we should do is be a support to them. Just like how the women are a support to each other, we should be a support to each other as men. And take it serious. Just like when the moment when a woman say, I've been abused, we should do the same as that thing. Our brothers walk up, bro, I've been abused. It shouldn't be no laughing out. It should immediately be serious. Who did that? Keisha did that? Oh, yeah, it's what's up. It's on. I'm just saying. Once again, if you're enjoying this content, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. Now, once again, I do have this have that little ticker up there. It has it where you could donate to the channel or become a sponsor of this channel. Now, once again, I don't push people to be a sponsor of this channel at all, period, all right? But however, I do push people to hit the thumbs up because when you hit the thumbs up, it let YouTube know that you want more of this content. And also, a lot of y'all been saying this. A lot of y'all been saying that y'all been seeing my shorts, correct? But however, you be looking over with my live streams. See, my shorts is designed so you could come to my live stream show so y'all can get all this good old content so you be educated and entertained at the same exact time, all right? So the only way that's going to happen is for you to thumbs up the video, thumbs it up, and set your notifications when I go live, all right? But we're almost done tonight, y'all. Appreciate everybody who's tuning in to the stream as well too, all right? So let's get it.
Get a prenup. Absolutely. Get the prenup.
She on his prenup, y'all. Hey, prenup.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're getting prenups. That's what we're doing because we are protecting our financial futures. We're protecting ourselves financially. You don't want to be in a situation where everything's going wonderful and suddenly you realize this person was wearing a mask. Learn from my experience and protect yourself.
What if this young lady only makes $50,000 a year?
And that is a bad space to be at. And you could tell that she have not been healed. If she's getting a prenup solely because she's not sure if the relationship was going to be good or bad, then that's not good. That's not a reason to get a prenup. That deals with trust issues. A prenup is not going to solve trust issues. That is an internal thing that you need to deal with.
Absolutely. Get a prenup. Yeah, still get a prenup. You never know. You never know.
So the prenup is not just about the money.
No, it's just protection.
Protection.
Here's the thing. Marriage is a contract. You're entering into a contract.
Yeah.
You got to protect yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
You preaching to the God. I'm just asking your perspective as a Black woman who loves the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because I think
Absolutely.
a lot of people are not really educated on the term.
We can love the Lord. We don't have to be naive.
Well, I think their thing is, and we're aware of time, y'all. Sorry about this, but it's a good question.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, specifically in the Christian world, feel as if we are saying that this will come to an end eventually.
No, we're just acknowledging that we're human. That's what we're doing. And I think the more people learn from people like me who've been through situations like this and actually realize that, look, this could happen to any of us.
Yeah.
None of us are above this. I'm telling you, this person, the mask was impeccable.
Yeah.
My mother loved this man.
Yeah.
My family loved this man. My friends loved this man. They were convinced. They were like, oh, nobody has loved you like this before.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
And to find out what I found out.
Yeah. You know.
Now real quick, I do want to acknowledge this. I have a video up on my channel right now, not a live stream, but an actual video up on my channel right now that talks about marriages coming to an end, that marriages are designed to end. When many people have watched that video, many people will agree with me on my point about that. Other people disagree on it. Now, if you're not familiar with that video, after this live stream show, go to my channel, the Urban Lounge Podcast, and go to my video section and look up the video. It'll say something along the line about marriage ending or something like that. You'll see it on there. But I encourage you to go and watch that video. Now, just to give you a brief summary on that, I have stated that marriages are designed to end. Marriages are not designed to last forever. It's impossible for marriages to last forever. Okay? Because different things happen for marriages to no longer last forever. The first thing is obviously dealing with, irreconcilable differences where people just get bored as hell and they don't want to be married no more. That's the first thing, the obvious thing. The next thing, why marriages don't last forever, is dealing with when your spouse end up passing away. Their life ended. So the moment when their life ended, that means your marriage is over. But a lot of people that was arguing against me, they're saying, well, even though you went through the whole process, right, Urban, and got married and that person died, that means that the marriage never ended. Nope, it means it ended. Once that person end up going through that death do you part thing, that means that it is over. It has ended. So marriages are designed to end. That is the reality. Just like with us, with life. Our whole existence for life is for a beginning and an end. I know that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people because a lot of people believe that they're a Superman and they can live forever, but you're not. The whole point is for you to live your life, and once when it's all said and done, your life is going to end. But the question you should be asking yourself is this: what are you doing in the process of that happening? What impact or you're having while you're living your life? whether you're in a relationship or not. What impact are you doing? What goals and ambitions are you doing to help not only yourself but other people as well too? What are you doing? Because when it's all said and done, it's a wrap.
One thing I'm walking away from this interview, and I think all men need to walk away from this interview, is do the work. And
Nah, bro. No. It shouldn't be just the men who are doing the work, but it should be the woman does the work too. Now, I understand the whole concept about us men, we're the leaders, we're the head, we gotta carry our cross and all that good stuff. I rock with you on that. But however, we can't just solely hold accountability on our shoulders alone. It have to be these modern women as well too, that they need to do the work too.
But the last, I would say specifically 3 years, I've really been doing more work. I've been doing therapy for since my separation from my ex-fiance. So it's been about 11 years now.
Wow.
Whoa, wait a minute. This Negro said that he been doing therapy for 11 years?
That's bullshit.
If you need therapy for 11 years, then it's something psychologically wrong with you, bro. Because therapy should not last that long. Regular therapy should not last 11 down years. It shouldn't. Either it's something wrong with the therapist itself, or it's something wrong with you. Because if it's lasted that long, you no longer need therapy. You need to transition over to getting a psychologist. Because you have some mental things that is going on with you that takes longer than that. And that deals with people who deal with these chronic mental illnesses like schizophrenia, bipolar disorders, different things like that, where they need that long-term psychological help. But therapy, no. It shouldn't last that long, especially this as something as simple as relationships and self-building. No. Not at all.
But I've really been doing more work from therapy, I even do silent retreats now.
Oh, wow.
To where we even go deeper.
Yeah.
And we identified some of my narcissist traits.
Okay.
And my therapist is teaching me how it's healthy and how it can become unhealthy, and how I need to acknowledge when they start becoming unhealthy. And she said it's almost like fire. We need fire because we need heat. We need to cook. But fire used in an unhealthy perspective can destroy your house.
Absolutely.
Can kill somebody.
Yeah.
So she was like, those traits, like what you said, they have helped you build a business. They have helped you get out of debt. They've helped you, get into a lot of doors and stay in those rooms. Because you got to have that it factor, and some of those traits help.
Right.
My biggest concern for you, Anthony, is how do we identify those and bring those back when you're in relationships, business relationships, romantic relationships, even with family? Because even with my team, she's like, one of your traits is you could be very controlling. So even my team is like, I know what I want, so I'm going to control the narrative to get what I want, rather than trusting Ed with the camera.
Right.
Like, all right, Ed, I'm going to trust you. Because I may not get what Anthony O'Neill wants, but if Anthony is an A+ and Ed can give me a B+, A-, get the B+, A-.
Right.
Rather than trying to control the narrative and then Ed feels controlled.
Right.
And so I'm learning that stuff. And that's one thing I really want all of us men to do. And we're going to have a link inside of the show.
So why in the hell is it taking him 11 years to figure this out? By him explaining it, it's common sense. It's all part of the basic business model. When you are part of the CEO of the company, you have to learn how to plan, lead as well too, and execute. Within the planning and leading and executing, right, you're going to appoint certain roles for individuals to do, and you have to entrust them on those certain roles. You have to understand that when things fail, then it falls on you, the CEO. So therefore, you have to know how to do everything as the CEO. Just in case if something were to happen, you could fulfill that role or have somebody fulfill it for you. That is simple business principles. So why in the hell you need therapy for that? And why would it take 11 years for that?
To where you can go get therapy, because it starts really with having an honest conversation with someone who you trust, someone who you pay to be quiet, and to really tell some of your dark thoughts, secrets, unhealthy stuff, and work through those. Because I don't care who you are, man or woman, we all have them.
I just want to add in,
Yeah.
speaking about it, that's how you heal. So I love that you're encouraging the men to go to therapy and speak.
Yeah.
You have to talk about your trauma. You have to talk about your pain.
Facts.
You have to talk about it with somebody, or else you're going to end up becoming this narcissistic person.
Yeah.
Notice that she's pointing back on the men again, victim blaming. Why shouldn't it go back and say, hey, that's a healthy way. We need to speak about it. Both as men and women, we need to speak about that. Because she does that. When it ties into dealing with anything with the woman, she goes into this we component. We need to do this. We need to do that. But bring it back to the men. So why should they do the same thing here, where in this situation, it goes back into reverse, where she's saying, hey, this is the same thing that I needed to learn to do. I needed to learn to do these things, be expressive and, hold myself accountable.
You have to vocalize it. And so maybe you're not like me. Maybe you don't go to the internet necessarily, but talk to somebody. You have to.
Yeah. I would suggest 90% of the people don't be like her. Because here's what I can tell is you've done the work internally.
I have.
So you can speak on it publicly.
Yeah.
I think the problem with speaking on it publicly is if you speak on it publicly, then you're allowing the public to give you thoughts back in comments.
Yes.
And if you're not healed internally,
you're going to just receive those projections.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And so it's like, I know.
And what's bad about it is that she's cognitively aware of the end results behind this, but yet she still refused to hold herself accountable.
For a fact, people are going to put comments on this about me. Right. But it's like, I've done the work internally.
Exactly.
So it doesn't faze me. Majority of people have not done the work.
Right.
And so what I don't want men to do is, I ain't worried about y'all. Because we ain't like ladies. Ladies, they gonna do that. That's and what you are doing, I think is needed. It's what I told you when I text you. I was like, yo, what you're doing is needed.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for that because you're killing the game.
I appreciate you.
But
and thanks for giving light to my story. It's important. Like as a male, like there are so many men who shy away from things like this because they're like, oh, she's male bashing.
No. But I told you that. I said it could.
Oh, no. Men are not shying away from your story at all, period. In fact, she believed that her story is so special. She really do. She believed that her story is so special and so unique that this is something that we hearing it for the first time. But fellas, this is not the one time we done heard this bullshit story. We done heard this over and over again. Am I lying about that? This ain't nothing new. The only difference is that y'all over here at my channel on the lounge, and I'm presenting it to you in a more healthy way where we're not using red pill rage to analyze it and call it out for what it is. Okay? We're not using red pill rage. We're not being, what's that bullshit they say we are? Misogynist or whatever stuff, right? We're not doing none of that. All we doing is listening to this and calling out the behavior for what it is. It's that simple. Now, at the end of the day, I wish for all the best for her. I really do. But she got a lot of self-work that she need to do within herself. Not only her, but Anthony, too. Because this dude here, he full blue pill, man. Man, I feel sorry for this dude. If he get into another relationship, right? He get into another relationship and get with the wrong woman. And that woman not doing something wrong. I believe this dude gonna red pill rage crash all the way out for real. And this is not going to be in no healthy way at all.
Come off as male bashing. But I think if you're in your
ego.
Yeah.
If you're in your ego.
When I watched the TikTok stuff, and I saw that earlier, right? And then when I watched your Instagram, and then when I had a conversation with you, I didn't feel any kind of way.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is the truth.
Exactly.
And brothers, we got to do some work. But like I said, too, ladies got to do some work, too. I think human beings
Everybody.
gotta do the work. However,
You notice how he tried to tie that in to my, yeah, ladies got to do work too. He didn't leave it at that. But he talking about, yeah, human beings, right? And the reason why he did it because he don't want to offend her. But I believe sometimes when you know people in the bullshit way, sometimes you got to let them know. You got to really offend them and let them know where they at.
this is where the men do not like me. It starts with men. I think we set the tempo. I think we set the foundation of the union. And if I'm whole and healed and continuing to improve and evolve, I'm not saying that she's going to be perfect, but a good woman is going to follow suit.
Yeah.
You know?
Because we mirror back whatever you're projecting.
And that's what all of my mentors have told me. And we'll close on this. And it was so fun. I went to one of my good friends' wedding, and the pastor, he got a divorce, got remarried. And the pastor told him, if I see the wife, he's an older pastor, so this is his exact words, not my words. Okay.
Yeah.
He said, if I see the wife out of line, I'm not questioning her. I'm looking at you. He said, because if she's out of line, that means you're out of line, because she's only mirroring what's in front of her.
Absolutely.
And some of the guys hated that comment.
Here's another thing too, y'all. Most of the young men, they probably going to be familiar with who I'm going to mention, all right? There's a content creator named Mr. Let Go, all right? One of Mr. Let Go's main talking points is that he referred women as being children, okay? Or having childlike behavior. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because based on his current talking point, would it be fair to say that Mr. Let Go assessment is correct, that women act like children? Because based on what he said and based on what Christina admitted, right, she said that women mirror men's behavior. Take away the word mirror. What do you get? Mimicking. What do children do with their parents? They mimic their parents' behavior. So would it be safe to say, in this particular point, that Mr. Let Go is telling the truth in the situation that women behave like children, or they act like children, especially if they are mirroring men's behavior or mimicking men's behavior? Would y'all agree to that?
But he looked at the pastor and said, yes, sir. And then when I went to the reception, he said, yo, you hear what Bishop told me? I was like, yeah, fix yourself. Is that because when you get married, she's going to mirror who you are?
Absolutely.
And he said, the reason why my last marriage didn't work is because of me. He was like, she was just marrying me. So I'm the reason. So now what I'm doing is I'm in the mirror every single day working on me. Because if I work on me, this union and our family will be better. And I said, yo, and I'll never forget, I was driving home. It was about a 4-hour drive. And I was in tears because I'm like, I got to work on me.
Right.
I got to work on me. And so, man, we got to work on ourselves. So listen, ladies, go check out her
Rich Girl Reset.
Rich Girl Reset. That's December 30th. And that link will be inside the show description. And then everybody's, but especially black men, go to anthonyoneil.com/therapy. And I want to challenge you to get therapy, at least start off with once a month. I go every other week. I will not miss it for
What
nothing.
the hell?
Even if I don't have nothing mentally going on. And 2025 has been a great year for me. But every time I go, I leave like, yo, I didn't know that was there.
That's crazy.
I want to encourage men to do that because it starts with us. We are in the mirror. All right. So all the links will be inside the show description. Yo, Christine, thank you.
Thank you.
You killed it.
Aw.
That wasn't a bad interview.
Yeah, it was.
You was nervous. You was nervous.
A little bit.
She was
A little bit.
a little bit nervous, y'all.
I don't know why she'll be nervous because he asked these soft ass questions, so I don't know about that. But however, this the end of the interview. Now, well, I want to encourage my brothers who are watching this show. I want to encourage y'all this. Now, you don't have to go to Anthony O'Neil. You don't have to click on this link to try to purchase this therapy thing that he's trying to sell you, all right? What you can do is this. You can go to my YouTube channel, right, and go into my playlist. I have a playlist that called Restoring the Masculine Order. Okay? Go into that playlist and watch them videos. And you can do this for absolutely free of charge. Go into that playlist and watch them videos. I guarantee that if you're a type of brother who's seeking for purpose, you're the type of brother who's seeking for validation, you're seeking to be restored in your masculine frame. If you're that type of brother who have been in blue pill and you're experiencing red pill rage, right, where you're crashing out with every woman, where you think every woman is full of shit, I encourage you to go into that playlist and watch that playlist. That playlist will change your life for real. It really will. And once again, it is absolutely free. You don't have to send no super chat or nothing like that. Just go on the playlist and watch that playlist. It's going to help change your life. One thing I do want to acknowledge on this person here, I don't know their name, but they had mentioned earlier, they had mentioned on about fellas don't get married. All right. Now, to be honest with you, I do agree with the sentiments behind not getting married. Now, I want y'all to understand clearly behind this, fellas. I want you to understand that my stance on this is that marriage is not a requirement for you, okay? Once again, it is not required for you to get married. So don't allow social norms to dictate to you that you're required to get married to fulfill your purpose as a man. That's bullshit. Now, however, if it's something that you desire to do, then absolutely do it. But however, by you doing it, there are certain things that you need to get yourself together first. You need to get yourself together first. That's why I'm encouraging you to watch my playlist, Restoring the Masculine Order series, okay? Because it is going to help you. There are other things that need to happen as well, too, for us going and knowing how to going and know how to vet out the proper woman so you won't be married the wrong woman for the wrong reason, so you won't get caught up again, and other things as well, too. But once again, that's why I'm encouraging y'all to watch my Restore the Masculine Order series. Watch the whole thing. You don't have to binge watch it. You probably just watch one episode a week. And just watch it and watch it. Especially when you get to the episode talking about red pill rage. Because that's a very important episode, because a lot of my brothers is currently in this red pill rage right now, where they bashing women, they're going online bashing women. Hell, I say it in my shorts all the time. Y'all think I don't be reading the shorts that I put out, but I be reading the comments on these shorts. And I be seeing some of y'all crashing the hell out on these women for real. And so it is designed to help you as a man. Okay? So go ahead and check out that series, and I guarantee that it's going to help you out. And I keep adding on to that series more and more and more. A matter of fact, I'm getting ready to add another one part of that series, and I'm going to add it to the playlist pretty soon, and I'm going to do a live stream talk about it. Because a couple of people want me to talk about leadership in full detail, and I'm going to do that. And we're going to do a live stream show talking about that. And we're also going to do a live stream show talking about actually properly vetting out the proper woman, if that's your desire. Okay? But the only way you're going to get it is by you not only being sober to this channel, but also checking out that series in its entirety. Okay? So other than that, thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode of the Already Announced podcast. Let me know what you think about this overall episode with Christina Elizabeth. Make sure you catch the part 1 and part 2 of me covering Christina Elizabeth, the Financial Baddie. And y'all let me know what y'all think about her behavior as well too. Maybe I dropped the ball on her. Maybe I was judging her too harshly. Y'all let me know in the comment section how you feel about that as well too. All right, if you agree with me or disagree. Shout out to everybody who came into the lounge, into the building. Appreciate everybody who give me the thumbs up as well too. And I appreciate everybody who support this channel, watching my shorts, and also participated in my crazy ass community posts that I'll be posting as well too. All right. So appreciate y'all, and we will see you again on the next episode. Y'all have a great and wonderful night.